Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another Cheeky Beaks YouTube channel video. In today's video, you can see this lovely mess in front of me. I am going to be just kind of showing you guys how I redo toys for my African Grey. We are doing this video, we decided to do this video because we get a lot of people who says that their birds don't like toys, or toys are too expensive, or anything along the lines of they don't give their birds toys because it's too expensive or their bird destroys it too quickly and we obviously know that parrot toys are expensive, but what people don't realize is just because your bird, like mine, has destroyed the rope or whatever's holding it, which is usually what happens, doesn't mean that the toys are broken. This was a toy that it had a bunch of little thingies that dangled on here, which is all of this stuff. This is a separate toy that I'm going to be showing you guys how I'm fixing that. But basically all of these little things were attached on ropes and was like hanging on here. And she picked it apart in like 2 days because she goes for the rope parts that attaches the loose things to the main block. So obviously, as you can see, these like wooden slices are untouched. She has not chewed them yet, so this toy or these parts still have a lot of life in them. And just because she's torn it apart doesn't mean that it's not usable anymore, because you can put it back together, which is what I'm going to be showing you. So I'm going to start with this toy. Some of the wooden blocks, these are not all of the blocks, these are the blocks that's left. Some of them fell into a foraging box and she literally shredded the blocks. Which is another thing that you can do, is if you don't want to put the toy completely back together, you can put bits like this or like this in their foraging boxes, because they can still chew it. It still has like, this is still a functional like foot toy if you don't want to put it back together, but I'm going to be putting it back together. So obviously I have all of these. Some of them have a little bit of poop on them, which I'll clean off now because I just got these from the bottom of a cage. Obviously you would need something to hold everything together. So you have a couple of options, right? You can either, which I'm going to be cutting this off because it's not like usable anymore because she shredded it. But you can get a rope like this, something, you know, that's safe for them, to hold it back together. A bit of twine. Twine is not the strongest though, that's why I don't use it. And I don't have this type of rope. But if you want to invest in it, definitely do that. I'm going to be doing, because I have it in the house, I cut up some cotton fabric. This is just like I got some random cotton fabric from the fabric store. So any like 100% cotton fabric, something like that would work. And then basically just cut it into strips. That's what I do. I know that my bird doesn't pick apart the little bits of with the rope or the fabric or whatever. She just like bites it and then she's had her fun with it. So she doesn't really go for untangling the rope. So if you know that your bird likes to untangle the rope, I'd be a bit more careful with what I use, because obviously you don't want your bird swallowing it and getting impacted, or, you know, the rope going around one of their limbs, because that can cut off circulation. So definitely watch out for that. I'll always keep a close eye on the rope or the fabric or whatever to make sure that it's not causing any problems. So I'm going to stop rambling and showing you guys what I'm going to start with. So I want this to be balanced out. So there's 3 of these blocks. So I think we are going to be doing like 3 new little things, you know, 3 dangly things. You guys will see now. And then 3 and 3. So I think we're going to be putting them back together like this, and then I'll put this little bead thing on the bottom of that one. So I think this is how we're going to be putting them back together, but I'll see now. So I'm going to just start by taking a piece of fabric. I've cut these up already, and this is why you need to be careful. You need to just make sure that it doesn't wrap around their limbs, but once it's in the toy, it shouldn't be an issue. At least I know my Grey, so it's fine. I'm going to show you guys a very easy way to get rope or fabric or anything through the toys. And I actually use a toothpick and some sellotape, because it works so easy, and then you don't have to struggle with getting the rope inside of the block. So basically I just take a little bit of tape, and then I'm going to take the, if I can pick it up, I'm going to take the toothpick, and then I'm just going to wrap the fabric around it, and then I'm just going to tape the fabric right to the toothpick, like so. So now the fabric is attached to the toothpick, so it should be easier to thread it inside of the toys. So I'm going to get started with this one. Basically just going to be putting it through the bead, and obviously it snapped off. So that's something that does happen, and it's a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. I just usually stick the toothpick in a bit further in the hopes that that will help, and then I kind of just push it through, and then you can see the bead goes right through, and I'm basically just going to feed it so that there's a little bit of extra. Then I'm just going to tie a knot. We're going to tie 2 or 3 just to make a big sort of knot at the bottom, so that I know that the stuff can't fall through. I think that should be good enough. Yeah, it doesn't go through, and then I'll snip that off now. But basically then I'm just going to continue threading these blocks onto there. I don't know, kind of just leaving a little bit of room for it to play with them. And these blocks are usually quite, oh, actually just came through, or sometimes a little bit annoying to get through. So I'm just going to now move those there so that I can show you how I'm going to put it back onto this. Basically I'm just going to take this part and just push it in there. Then I'm just going to try with the toothpick to push it through. Don't know if it's actually going to work, because I think this hole might be like closed up a little bit too much. So I'm going to be right back when I have this just pushed through. Okay, sorry guys, my camera ran out of space, so that's going to be a bit of an awkward cut. But I was just saying that I finished throwing it through, and then I made 4 knots to tie it. And basically now I'm just going to repeat this exact same process, and I'm just going to roll a time lapse. Okay guys, so now you can kind of see what is left of the toy. I'm going to clean up this poop now before I put it in the cage. But basically I just added on the fabric bits again. This is going to be the back, or that's going to be the back. I'm completely sure, it doesn't really matter. And then I just tied a little bit so that I can hang it up again. And now the toy still has a lot of life in it, so it'll be great for her to use. I'm going to put this toy off to the side now. I just want to show you what she did to this toy. As I said, she likes to just go over the string, so she's basically destroyed the string, but the toy has been like still fine. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get off all of these blocks, and then I'm just going to be retying them in the same order, same concept as I did just now, and just rethreading it so that I can hang it up. I'll show you guys a time lapse again. Yeah, then you can just see how I'm doing this so that even these can be saved. Okay, cool. So as you guys could see, I basically just rethreaded it. I need to cut off this bottom part. I don't like that little tassel there. So now I can hang it back in the cage again. At the top I did have to attach another piece so that I could make the little loop for it to be hangable again. But there you go. This toy is pretty much brand spanking new. She just destroyed the rope that it was hanging on. So I hope that this video has kind of given you guys an idea of the concepts you can use to remake your toys. You can also cut up blocks and add more stuff to it. Really, there's no reason why you need to throw away perfectly good items like this when it can still be made into toys and just fixed. So yeah, I hope that this video has helped you guys out, and stay tuned for the next one.